So recently I made an unboxing video of the Chessnut Move, as you can see in this preview. And so what I'm going to do now is play an online game with the Chessnut Move. So I've had it for a while. As you can see, I have it set up. So you may be wondering why these pieces are not in their correct places. Well, I set them up on purpose like this because we have the ability to let this board do the sorting out. So all of the pieces will automatically move to their correct positions. Since it's an autonomous robotic chess-like board, we don't need to set up the pieces in their correct positions. However, I think it would be beneficial if this board had a button to do that, or if there was some feature in the app where we could just push the button to reset the pieces to where they should be. Because now I can't really find this feature on the app, nor is there a button on this board that will do that. So I have already owned several chess robotic boards in the past, such as the Phantom Force, and they have a feature that enables them to reset the pieces. But in this case, I am unable to find that. I believe that perhaps in future updates, Chessnut may incorporate this feature in the app, but right now, as of the date of this video, I can't find that. But we can still do that. So we are able to reset the pieces to their correct positions by playing a game from the start. So once this board is connected to the app, it'll automatically move the pieces to their correct positions once you start a new game. So what I'll do right now is demonstrate that. I'll just click on bot match first. So once we're in bot match, we can choose our side. Let's say I'll play as white. Standard, we'll play against Maia. Let's choose level 4. Scroll down and click on start. Now you can see the red dots appear and the pieces will return to their, well, the pieces will go to their correct positions. So when setting it up, you could just place the pieces on the board and you wouldn't have to bother about putting the pieces in their correct positions. So as for a beginner, this would be ideal for someone who is new to chess and doesn't want to remember where to place the pieces. Perhaps that person is learning a game of chess and we can use this feature to start a new game. So I think this is a great advantage. However, as I said before, I think there should be a button on the board that can indicate a reset feature for this board, or a button in the app. But as of now, I can't find that. I also want to mention that on a few occasions, I noticed that the pieces, such as the bishop, would slide to the edge of the board and get stuck. Because it slided to the edge of the board, these wheels didn't touch the board, the base of the board. So therefore, the bishop was stuck, it couldn't move, and it was trying to move to its correct position, but unfortunately the wheels didn't touch the base of the board. So therefore the board got confused and I wasn't able to set up the board correctly or play a position correctly for this in this case. Hopefully in the future there will be some updates that can rectify this problem. Another point to emphasize is the fact that this board may not be totally ideal for a blitz game because the pieces need time to move and they slide across the board, and that of course takes some time. Especially if the knights are moving around, they obviously can't jump over the pieces, and if there are other pieces in front or on the sides, those pieces will likely have to move and make way for the knight to slide across the board. And also, once the knight is in its correct position, the pieces will need to go back to their original squares. So this does take a little bit of time. So I think that as of now, in the current market, we do not really have an affordable robotic board for the average consumer in terms of playing a blitz game. So in the long run, I would like to see how this stacks up in the foreseeable future. Should we have a blitz board a blitz robotic board that is more ideal for a blitz player. Nevertheless, this is still a good board that you can use to play blitz. Let's say if you're playing an average 15-minute game with this board, I think this is more than enough time to play with this board. And I do sometimes play a 15-minute game with the Chessnut Move. So, however, I myself am not really into blitz. I do need time to think and make my move. But since I'm playing online, I make do with blitz games. This is something to bear in mind if you do play with the Chessnut Move. As of now, if you are into 5-minute blitz games, I think the best alternative for you would be to pick up the Chessnut Go, because you do move the pieces manually rather than having to wait for the pieces to move. And this is fair enough for a blitz player. And another thing I want to point out is the fact that here you can see that we have this mark on the top and a mark at the bottom as well. So this balances out the movement of the pieces. So once it stops or rotates, and likewise the piece will maintain its balance because this ledge is on the pad and it'll balance the piece, so therefore it will not fall down. I've got my app connected to the board, the Chessnut Move, and I'm going to play an online game via chess.com. Let's have a look.